I'm Orlando Camargo at Ithaca Street Partners, and our mission is to empower and enable difference for a common good. I think everyone is unique and everyone is different. And I think everyone's uniqueness and difference needs help to be expressed in a clear and accurate way. It's important because I think everyone has a story to tell and we all have something to learn from those stories. And we can help people bring those stories out. I do that by looking back at my own experiences growing up and helping people understand the difference between imposter syndrome and skill sets and understanding what it is that you can do for your community. So I came to America when I was very young, 4 years old, as an immigrant from Bogota, Colombia. Grew up in a rough and tough time in New York City and was able to kind of get that gritty nurturing in an environment where you had to survive. I grew up on Ithaca Street, therefore Ithaca Street Partners, in Queens, New York, at a pretty rough time in the 1970s. And we learned how to be resourceful, how to speak English, how to be the best we could possibly be in a difficult environment. I think it instilled values like hard work, not being afraid to be the only one, being someone that really persevered, and not being afraid to challenge the going common wisdom. So in high school, I had a lot of really great teachers and counselors, and they were the ones that told me, you needed to get beyond here. You need to go out and do something bigger and better. And I applied for scholarships and got a 4-year scholarship to the Rochester Institute of Technology. Rochester is very far from Bogota and very far from Ithaca Street in Queens, but it was challenging and the best thing that could have happened to me. So being an immigrant to America and being different was really part of something that created a uniqueness in me because I could see my own strengths among a diverse group of people that I grew up with. The pivotal point in my life, I think, professionally and personally, was when I moved to Japan in 1983. At that time, I was going for only 1 year and ended up staying for 27. I was the first foreigner to be hired by the Japanese government as a civil servant researcher. That was unique and that was different. And that gave me confidence to do something that no one had ever done before. From there, I went to work for consulting companies and PR agencies, and eventually Goldman Sachs hired me to become the head of communications. That was very challenging. When I was hired at Goldman Sachs, I realized that this imposter syndrome thing was real and that I was the only one that was Latino, not born and raised in Japan, and had to do communications in a foreign country. It's hard to leave Goldman Sachs, but I was offered the presidency of a company, and it was really one of the most amazing things that could happen to someone who had come to America as an immigrant, to be said, come and be the president of Ogilvy Public Relations. And I took that challenge on. We talk a lot about representation and imposter syndrome and the possibility and dream of coming to America and creating a life for yourself. Well, when I became president of Ogilvy, I realized that anything was possible, and Japan was just one of the places that was possible for me to make it happen. I am the founder of Ithaca Street Partners. Ithaca Street Partners is a communications consultancy, and our mission is to enable and empower difference for a common good. I believe everyone is different and everyone is unique, but many of us need help in conveying that difference and that uniqueness to a wider audience. It's important to be able to differentiate yourself these days. There's so much out there in social media that really drowns out the good in each individual. So you need to have a really good story, and you need to be able to have that conveyed in a way that's convincing and people will believe.